All right, we're live. Thank God for each and every one of you being here today. Um, just really overwhelmed with all of those who are tuning in to our weekly sessions of this Sunday. Today happens to be a special one. I turned half a century. When you say it like that, half a century, a century. Wow. But I thank God for these 50 years of being on this earth, and I couldn't do it without him. And I just really appreciate him first. And then I got blessed with a whole bunch of presents. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 presents this morning of these wonderful folks that's been coming here. Um, well, by the church family, and then also my extended family, and my sister's sister, and my nieces and nephew. Now this one, Melanie, I used to carry on my shoulders when she was like a little baby, and she's a big old smile. Now I can't do that no more. It's like, look at her,
But she still has a big old smile.
She does have a big smile. Exactly. Yeah. And then another man comes, another birthday gift. Aaron Broadway, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Broadway. My brother from that we grew up together. So I've been known him for 40 plus years, 40 plus years, something like that. So we grew up together when we were both born and raised here. Then I moved to Utah for a little bit, and then I came back, and then that's when Aaron and I met way back when. We've been best friends ever since. So, and there's like a whole crew of folks, but I thank God for him being here this morning. So it's kind of getting choked up a little bit, but I thank God for each and every one of you being here, and my wife obviously putting this thing together, and she has a big smile on her face all through the week. I mean, she has something planned. I didn't know it was this. So I'm hoping to try to tie in a little bit of our Bible lesson today of what we've been covering thus far in Acts chapter 23. So if you have your Bibles, we're going to go to Acts chapter 23, and we're going to start on the first and second verse. We're trying to do a little bit of a review. So been covering quite a bit. Now, my thing is that sometimes I'll say, okay, we're going to cover these verses, and I'll do one, and then I don't get to the other 8 of them because they're so rich and there's so much to be drawn out of it. So last week's lesson, my admonishment to you, a homework assignment for you was to be a little bit what?
Better.
Be a little bit better. Be a little bit better. What do I mean by be a little bit better? What does that mean? Exactly, to be a little bit better. And there is no wrong answer. Well, almost not. But what does it mean to be a little bit better? Does it mean to kind of try or put forth an effort? What do you think?
I think it's acknowledging your fault first,
Okay.
And trying to get closer to eliminating those as possible.
Okay. So acknowledging your faults first. All right. So we're going to look at that for just a moment. Let's go to the verses here. We'll see what the Apostle Paul is saying, and then we'll kind of draw out of that some. But we want to keep in mind what my Sister Taifa said. Okay. Acknowledging your faults first. Paul earnestly beheld the council and said, let me read out of the New American Standard. Be a little bit easier to understand. I love the King James, but we're going to go to New American Standard. Verse 20, chapter 23, verse 1. And Paul, looking intently at the council, said, Brethren, I have lived my life with perfect good conscience before God. Okay, let's just take a look at that. Brethren, he's talking to the high council. Now, he knows these people. The Apostle Paul is well educated. He comes from a background of what's called a Pharisee. Okay, are we familiar with the word Pharisee? Pharisee. Have we heard that word before?
Mm-hmm.
So the Pharisees those were his rivals. So whenever he was teaching or preaching or performing a miracle, typically the Pharisees were there. They were really scrutinizing him. They were trying to find fault in him because Jesus Christ was a threat to their position, right? So if they were in a position of power, they were quite wealthy. A lot of the Sadducees and the Pharisees they're different, but both. Sadducees were really wealthy people. They didn't believe in the resurrection. They didn't believe in a spirit. They didn't believe in soul.